What's up, guys? Jared Fogel from Subway here. A lot of people have questions for me. They want me to answer just, things about my life. In my time making videos, it seems that I've created a lot of ambiguity surrounding myself. I don't want there to be as much ambiguity as there is. I really hope to become a more defined person through this video. Oh, by the way, I have this poker chip here that has truth on one end and it has lie on the other end. And I'm going to flip it before each question. And depending on what comes up, I'm going to either lie to you or I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm also not going to show you what comes up in response to each question. What is the male to female ratio of your subscribers? It's 50-50 about. 50% male, 50% female. Pretty much cut down the middle. Who decides what the center is? Oh, shit. By the way, I was going to use a coin for this, but no one has physical currency anymore, so I just had to use a poker chip I had lying around. Look for some telltale signs of centrism. Basically, when someone says, both sides are blah blah blah, if they're kind of wishy-washy on their opinions, or if they're very strong in their opinions, but their strength is in being conveniently between whatever two arguments happen to be presented. What do your friends and family think about your YouTube videos? Do they even know about your vids? Okay, so my mom is always very supportive of everything I do, but she doesn't like me swearing, and she doesn't really understand any of the political stuff. I don't think my dad has YouTube or even ever goes on YouTube except to look up a repair, so I don't think he's ever seen any of my videos. Oh, well, I mean, no, he's seen some of my videos when something takes off. Like when my Go Fuck Yourself video was shared by Philip DeFranco, he saw that one. He found it funny. My mom was like, oh my god, how can you, you're terrible, you've been possessed by Satan. Blah, 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 blah. You know how it is. My brothers both really like my stuff. But again, they don't resonate with it internally. Sometimes they'll find a skit they really like and they laugh at it and they say that they found it funny. Sometimes I just don't like any of some of my stuff at all. That's fine too. Oh, my sister, for example, also watches the videos. When I released the Burn the Fence Down, the original video where I was talking about centricide, she was like, oh my god, you're gonna get your channel taken down. This is such a huge mistake. Oh my god, how could you do this? She was mortified. And it worked out pretty well. So anyway, after that, I feel like my family kind of got more on board, the more successful I got. Though they're still concerned that I'm gonna go over the line. Or I mean, in their mind, I actually have already gone way over the line. So I don't know why they're still concerned. But yeah, no one in my family gets what I do at all. But they're all supportive, and I love them very much. Hi, I missed a few questions. I don't have the time to set up lighting, so I'm just gonna shine this in my face. So one guy asked, do I prefer NASBOLs or ANCAPs? And it's a good question, I want to answer it. So the thing is, if you're an ANCAP, you don't have a defined cultural position just based off that label. ANCAP really only describes economic and statist positions. So you know that somebody is a anarchist and you know that they're someone who's a capitalist, but where are they culturally? For all you know, when someone calls themselves an ANCAP, they could be someone who wants to ship every race and gender besides their own to a death camp of some kind or a slave camp of some kind, or worse, they could be wrong. NASBOLs are a different story. With NASBOLs, you know that they're statist, you know that they're economically left, and you know that they've never had sex. Do you like the audience that you've acquired? One of the biggest issues with making political content is the divisiveness that it can cause. Do you personally have to deal with a lot of that? My audience is perfect and I have no issues with them at all. Also, I want to add that the community is in a good spot right now where everybody who would have been weeded out by the abrasiveness of my content already has been weeded out. So it's just people who kind of know what's up at this point, and the people who aren't going to be like, uh-oh, he said a thing I don't like, I'm gone. They're capable of understanding satire and why I might say a certain thing. Okay, now for the YouTube comments. How have I been doing mental health-wise? Oh boy, basically perfect. Ever since I started getting upwards of 10K YouTube subscribers, my life has been fucking mint. Barely any problems at all. I really cannot complain. I'm so happy. And I haven't felt even a little bit depressed in I think like over 2 months now. So everything's been really good. What are your real political beliefs? Gamer, how's your day going? So today was decent. I was supposed to go to the beach, but my bike was recently stolen. So I was gonna go like bike to the beach, and then I thought, yeah, maybe I'll just stay home. So I just stayed home instead. How do you manage to hide yourself under so many layers of irony? Or is this just you pretending to be ironic, but really being serious and tricking us all? Who are you? Okay, so the question I'll answer here is, how do you manage to hide yourself under so many layers of irony? The answer is, I'm not hiding myself under any layers of irony whatsoever. Basically, everything I say is genuine. And if you interpret it as ironic, sure, fine. But I've never said, I don't think, a single ironic thing on this channel. Why did you decide to make your channel about politics? It was all about the money, baby. As soon as the political compass thing blew up, I was like, time to ride this gravy train to the bank. Holy shit, I feel super bad. Okay, I'm just going to show you that that was a lie. I would never create content I was not inspired to create. Never. I am through and through an artist. I would rather have an audience of 100 people seeing what I do that is truly inspired rather than an audience of 1 million seeing whatever, like me just pandering to them. What do you think about our neoliberal, the neoliberal Twitter page, and other neoliberals? They're all great. Is there any meaningful difference between people who are centrists and people who are apolitical? That's a great question. Hold up. Yeah, there is meaningful difference, I'd say. An apolitical person isn't going to de-radicalize anybody, but a centrist might try to de-radicalize people. Like, they might try to be like, oh, you're far right, come back into the center, but don't go to the left. Or like a far leftist will be like, oh, like, come over to the center, drop all that communism garbage, and we can maybe do some reformed communism where we take capitalism and we give them some socialism, and that's it. So yeah, I feel like an apolitical person wouldn't be able to do that because they wouldn't have any tools to de-radicalize the people. That being said, on a broad scale, a centrist is never going to change anything, never going to move anybody to any direction, and basically by defending the status quo in a time where we really need to change the status quo, yeah, not ideal. MBTI type, so that's the Myers-Briggs personality test. I'm an INT, well, so I took the test. I'm definitely an IN, and then on T and P, I scored 50-50, which was surprising to me. I feel a lot. I definitely thought I was more of a feeler. But then thinking about it, I also kind of feel by thinking about past events. Like, I think about something I did, and then I feel maybe I'm just trying to justify the fact that I got 50-50 on that test. I really don't know. And then I also got 50-50 between P and J. So I'm definitely an introvert, definitely intuitive, and then T and P, those were like 50-50s. I don't know. You know, to be honest, if you ask me, I think people take those tests a little too seriously. And I actually think the tests themselves are good and fine. My only issue is when people work backwards to justify why they got what they got, because then it's like a horoscope, you know? And the reason I find that annoying is because I do that shit all the time and was just doing it there for like 5 seconds. So you got to catch yourself when you do that and be like, Retro Man asks, on which extreme team are you? Extreme centrism. Is water wet? Getting better at flipping this. No. I would say it's not. It's not wet. It is that which makes things wet, but like fire's not burned. You know. We all saw the same video. Favorite hentai? The one where the everyone's got a dick. Do you feel beholden to your anti-centrism series in any way? Would you ever consider moving on from those videos to create different content? If so, when could you see this happening? I'm gonna do them forever. Bleh! Matthew Voss asks, did you ever expect your political compass rap to do well at all? I mean, we can kind of tell you didn't know it would take off, but did you ever think it would even do good? Did you think it would be average? Oh, I'm getting a lot better at flipping this this poker chip. I always kind of knew it was going to take off. Like, I knew that it would do well just because it was connected to something people knew about, and it was like a lot of stuff was happening, so that would make a good thumbnail. I knew it would do well. I can absolutely mention Radical Islam as a powerful ally to the anti-centrist organization, and as well, you know, all radical theocracy is I'm proud to associate with. Do you have any friends? Yeah, I got friends. That being said, you know, I am an introvert. I've got a decent amount of pretty close friends, but recently, I guess I've been kind of hermiting myself off in my apartment, just making YouTube videos. Not seeing my friends probably as much as I should. Not to say I saw them that much in the first place, but yeah. What current politician do you think would lead the anarcho-Nazbol empire the best? Andrew Yang. I think if you look at his policies, he's economically left because he wants to redistribute wealth. And then he's culturally right because in order to socialize a country, you need to close the borders so that the people in the country are the ones getting the benefits, not people streaming in. And then the anarcho element comes from the fact that being an accelerationist, Yang must be an accelerationist, by the way, because he's speeding up the process of capitalism by giving more and more people money. That will inevitably lead to a collapse of some kind, which would be anarchism. Anarchism of some kind. Who knows which kind, but anarchism definitely of some kind once capitalism collapses. So Andrew Yang really has it all, and I officially endorse him. What has inspired your comedic and editing style? You know, it's PewDiePie. PewDiePie, I just watched him since I was a little boy, and just watch him now, and he's a smart boy. I just get inspired by him, basically. What's your workout routine? Basically just do bench press and chest and squats. That's basically it. I go 3 times a week, ideally. If I go more than 3 times a week, then I'll just do like abs. I'm not someone you should take workout advice from either. Like I'm spaghetti. I'm a bundle of sticks. I'm twigs held together with gum. I'm not. Yeah. Who the fuck cares what my workout routine is? Do you have any relation to Che Guevara, Mr. Greg Guevara? No. To be honest, my name isn't even Greg Guevara. I just made that up. That's like a screen name. I don't want to dox myself, so I don't give out my actual, like, full, real, legal name. Guevara comes from the fact that, well, yeah, obviously Che Guevara, the revolutionary, and Greg is a anagram of my middle name. So yeah, it's not like. I'm not. Greg Guevara is not my real name. It's yeah, obviously not. I'm obviously not related to Che Guevara. Okay. Are the Amish politically extreme enough for you, or are they just isolated centrists? Nah, they're not politically extreme enough. They really do need to go full Anprim, in my opinion, and just, you know, completely swear off all forms of electronics and all forms of farming, because that's the main thing. Since the agricultural revolution, things have been going downhill for humanity. So if the Amish were truly Anprims, then they wouldn't be farming. They would just be scavenging, hunter-gatherer style in the forests. And that's my main issue with the Amish. Apart from the inevitable centrist side, what other plans do you have for the future? It fell off my hand. Let me try again. I'm good to just make YouTube videos until I die. I don't really have ambitions beyond that. Cesar asks, how does an extremist creator get through YouTube's content algorithm? So, I have no clue, and I'm still on shaky ground, and I'm every day, like, a little worried I'm going to get taken down and just everything's going to be gone like that. That would suck hard. Hopefully I get like a warning strike first, and then once I get my first warning strike, I'm probably going to have to tone it back like an enormous amount. Maybe even switch content streams. Not entirely. I could still do political stuff, but definitely nothing near as edgy as I've done before. Why did you start YouTube? I started YouTube because I made a commercial for school in grade 6. Needed a place to put it up. My brother helped me make the channel. Thank you, my brother. And yeah, that's basically it. I just needed a place to put a video. I think that's probably how a lot of us started YouTube. Does reading Hitler and Stalin fan fiction diagnose me as an asshole? No, I don't think so. You can read fan fiction about something without it being your political ideology. Can you come up with a solution to the trolley problem when everyone dies? Multi-track drifting. Opinions on far-left criticism of Sanders, AOC, etc. Yeah, that makes sense. Sanders is not far left. He's like left, maybe like a little left. There are definitely farther left, like more left, more extreme left policies he can make. He recently called for seizing of the means of production, which is like a good step, but not far left, not a far left guy. I mean, maybe in his heart of hearts, he secretly is a communist who wants to seize the means of production, but the far left is right to critique the moderate left for not being far left enough, just as the far right is right to critique the right for not being right enough. Favorite anime? If none, what do you think about anime? Attack on Titan, dude. Holy shit. I recognize that's a normie response. I don't give a fuck. Attack on Titan is so good. Holy shit. I'm so glad I did not read the manga, because I was so tempted after the first season. I waited 4 years. I was like, there's no way the wait's going to be worth it. It was extremely worth it. Oh my god. By the 3rd season, every episode was just so mind-blowing. That's such a great way to craft a story. And honestly, like, I've taken notes as to how to craft a mystery from Attack on Titan. That's how good it is. Are you Christian? If so, will you ever talk about faith in a video? Yes, I am actually Christian. I grew up in a fundamentalist Christian household. My mom and my dad were both very religious. And I've kept that faith with me. I try not to put in my videos, though. So I mean, maybe I will do a video on Christianity someday. I mean, I still regularly go to church with my parents. I go every Sunday. Maybe, but not for the foreseeable future, but maybe one day. Do you ever go through your old videos? Nah, I basically release the video and I never go back to it ever again, essentially. Like, I just don't like to go and dwell on what I've already created. I try to keep the focus on what I'm about to create and what I'm going to create in the future. When did you start your rise on YouTube, and why not 4chan? I would have started my rise on 4chan if it had panned out that way. I did post on 4chan quite a bit. I essentially grew up on 4chan. So it would have been good for me to get my start there. The issue was 4chan is just not a great place to be discovered. There's not a lot of discoverability built into 4chan, so I ended up getting discovered on YouTube through the YouTube algorithm. So are you Hispanic, Jewish, or fully European? I'm Hispanic. Will we ever know your real politics? No, I'm going to keep it a secret forever because that's fun. Can you do book reviews? I can, but I'm never going to. Wait, that's the truth, isn't it? I will do a book review. Okay, I'll just tell you. This is a lie. I gotta lie. I will do a book review if I feel inspired to do a book review, but ultimately, there's plenty of book review boys out there. Lots of good folks I could recommend. I don't even read books that often, So, last book I read was a book called Kill All Normies by Angela Nagel. That one was interesting. Anthony Milbanks asks, are you a fan of Shoe on Head? I found you through her. No, I don't really like her very much. It is a known fact that you used to write short stories, so which one was your favorite? Also, will you put them up for free? My favorite short story is a little something called The Twist, a parody. You can actually see people, there's plenty of like dramatic readings of it online. It was like a creepypasta I wrote when I was 14, still my favorite. So yeah. Will I ever put it online? No, never, not for you fools. My camera died while filming, so I went to sleep and then I woke up and now I'm answering more viewer questions. Almost like I'm trapped in some kind of hell I can't escape. No, that's an ungrateful joke. I like doing it, obviously. Everyone likes talking about themselves, even when they're not actually talking about themselves and they're just actively fucking with people. Some people may ask, what's the point of doing a Q&A video if you're just gonna lie during like at least half of the questions? And the answer to that is I'm waiting for my questions to load right now. I realize that like every video someone's like, ooh, Greg's going insane, you know? And it's like, people have been saying that before I blew up. Like, ooh, this is Greg going crazy. He's gone mad. Like, there was a point where he had gone mad. I'm pretty sure my style of video has remained pretty much constant for the last, like, 4 years or so. But, oh, Greg's gone mad. This is the video where he snaps. No, not really. If anything, I'm more sane now than I ever have been. Sly Cooper asks, still shilling? Fuck you, Sly. It came up truth. That's what I think, truthfully, Sky. Fuck you. I had one sponsorship in the last 4 fucking years. And I still get comments about the whole DVD case debacle. I've not accepted a sponsorship since. Not because I don't want sponsors, just because they've all been lame up until very recently. I was approached by some decent sponsors that I might work with in the future. But I think I did a pretty good job of not chilling. I never want to sell out or like get to the point where I'm just doing a 3-minute long mobile game ad. At the beginning of my, I've had plenty of offers like that, and those are really the only people who are willing to sponsor me, like random Chinese companies who had no concept of what a good on-brand sponsor would be like. One sponsor sold like anime t-shirts. I was like, yeah, I would do that. Like, I would sell an anime t-shirt or two as long as I could do the whole, sponsorship with like a gun to my head or like just be sardonic. They weren't into it. So I just didn't do it. I just didn't do it for you because I want to make something. If I'm going to sell you something, I want it to be at least on brand and, funny to watch and sit through and aware of the fact that nobody really wants to ever do a sponsorship. Yeah, I'm not still... Well, I mean, I will shill maybe in the future, but I think I've done a pretty good job. Sly. And by the way, I really don't care if you comment, this guy's in the pocket of a big DVD case. That was a bit of that was a performative overreaction. It's fine. Lord Pennison asks, what did you do before YouTube, if anything? I didn't do anything before YouTube. I was just chilling, I never went to high school, dropped out in middle school, and then I just kind of coasted. I was basically just sat around my parents' house all day, didn't do much. Made a video here and there, and then all of a sudden, I started making a little more videos here and there, and then boom, I blew up, and now I'm doing this. Zess4096 asks, are you of Latin American descent? No. Tech Zem asks, outside of politics, what do you enjoy discussing and doing? Try that again. I really like talking about what's on Netflix. The latest Netflix show? Stranger Things just came out recently. Yum yum yum. The Game God 7777 asks, if I'm a bisexual switch, does that make me a centrist? Is polyamory just romantic communism? And if so, do you think incels would advocate for it? Yeah, okay, so here's how I would do it. I would take a political compass like this, and then I would put, because authoritarian right is typically associated with conservatism. I would put a monogamy there, but like not just monogamy, like marriage, right? Like these people, the extreme of it is these people, man and woman, married to each other, and they have missionary style sex every night, and that's it. And then libertarian right would either be serial monogamy or hierarchical polyamory. So, you have a main squeeze. Just like the free market capitalists, whoever is the most talented gets to get to the top of the food chain. In this case, if you like someone more than other people, then that person becomes your main squeeze, and the other people just become less important. That's how it is. Then on the communism end of the spectrum, we have traditional non-hierarchical polyamory, where everybody's equal, everybody's essentially the same, and no one is viewed as more important than anybody else in the relationship. So you could be dating 4 people at the same time, and all of them are essentially just of the same value to each other. There's no main squeeze. You don't have a main squeeze. Everyone's just equal, and they're all respected amongst each other. And then in the bottom left, there's something called relationship anarchy. And relationship anarchy is essentially you just do what you want, and there's no expectation for you to be telling people things, and you treat kind of your friends in the same way you might treat the people you're dating, and the people that you're having sex with. Like you treat basically every relation this is exactly the same. You may notice that asexuals aren't on here. So in the center, I would say, is monogamish people who are, that's essentially what most people are. They're just kind of like, they date around, and then they keep their minds open for the idea of monogamy, but they're not necessarily married to the idea of monogamy. Yeah, see what I did there? Would incels advocate for romantic communism? I think so. I think incels are authoritarian at heart, so I think they would advocate for enforced monogamy. That would be like very far authoritarian. How do you deal with procrastination and self-doubt? I don't. How many layers of irony? It depends on the video. Anywhere between 0 and sometimes up to 4. Never really beyond 4. Yeah, like, for example, let's just kill each other is 4 layers of irony. It's easy to see that you're living in a dorm. What are you studying, and how do you have time for quality YouTube content? As long as you know how to manage your time. I'm studying political science. You basically can be surprisingly productive if you just know how to manage yourself. So I've learned over the last few years, I wake up in the morning, I film a skit, then I go to class, and just repeat. Just learn to manage yourself, learn to manage your time, listen to some motivational music to get you pumped up, don't play video games too much, and that's basically it. How was your time in the Molyneux cult? I was never in the Molyneux cult. Did you go to university? Fuck you. What got you into political theory? I've always really been interested in political theory. Just all the different ways that you can organize yourself broadly through politics. That's been really interesting to me. More specific stuff like politicians and what a politician is doing never really interested me. Even the politicians in my own town. But the more broad strokes of how politics gets formed and who shows up where, that stuff's always just been interesting to me. I've never really gotten into political theory as deeply though as I have this last year. Did you know that no matter what anyone says, you can say at least one person genuinely enjoys your content? Yeah, thank you. What is your favorite song from Hamilton? Oh, there's so many good ones. The 10 Duel Commandments it really bops. And then they actually explain to you the rules of a duel through the song, so it's like educational as well. Mwah, that's some good shit. What was your degree from uni? Political science. Did you grow up Jewish, and has it affected your life and political views? No, I did. I'm Christian. Rye Animations asks, how was high school for you? Were you popular? High school was okay. It was okay. I was valedictorian for my class, so I got to give like a speech, which was definitely the high point of my high school experience. I love giving speeches. It was a really good speech. If you look on my second channel, Greg Guevara, the very first video is the speech that I gave for my valedictorian class. So yeah, that was good. But like, I didn't have a blast in high school. It wasn't that great. I had like a decent number of friends. I wasn't unpopular, but I wasn't wildly popular either. I was just kind of like a normal dude. People knew I was funny, so they elected me as valedictorian. But yeah, it wasn't a great time, honestly. I wouldn't say university was a lot better, though. I would say university was okay and high school was okay. Not hell, not terrible, just kind of like, meh, could take it or leave it. But I might be being ungrateful in retrospect. Like, I met a lot of lifelong friends in high school. I met a lot of people I'll probably know for the rest of my life, so I'm thankful for that. Is YouTube worth it? What are your goals outside this platform? Yeah, I'm just going to do YouTube forever, dog. Mika asks for me to fill in the blanks of my life story that I did in my Draw My Life video. Okay, so between the ages of 1 and 4, I developed a disease in my blood that made it very difficult for me to stand up until the age of about 12. And when I was 12, I got over the disease, and I still had some lingering effects from it that lasted until I was about 18. It made my joints really sore, so I couldn't stand up for very long periods of time. I was kind of like bedridden a lot of the time, which I think is what caused me to have such spaghetti limbs today. And yeah, that's really the only other main thing worth talking about in my life. Another guy asked me, do I think that the world is going to end via global warming, robot apocalypse, or nuclear holocaust? Personally, I think the most likely scenario is nuclear holocaust, but spurred on by escalations due to resource shortages from global warming. Honestly, global warming is the biggest threat facing our generation right now. I think that's obvious. But I think that if we're going to die, it's going to be because no one can eat food. So, I'm Canadian. What happens when your neighbor has a bunch of guns and you have all the food, and your neighbor with all the guns runs out of food and your house is stocked with food? I have a feeling our American friends down south aren't going to treat us Canucks too kindly with all our natural resources ripe for the taking, because we don't really have a military for ourselves. Anyway, if we can get past all that, and no nuclear war happens, and we manage to deal with climate change, which I don't think, I hope we can do, but I'm not 100% sure we're going to be able to. I'm not even 30% sure we're going to be able to. Then we can start worrying about the AI apocalypse. But yeah, until then, I think my priority is like AI apocalypse. Don't get me wrong, definitely a huge deal. Definitely something we should be thinking about now. But my main concern is climate change. It's always going to be climate change, because even if nuclear war doesn't happen, life's still going to be pretty dystopic, let me tell you. Once fucking 80% of the biodiversity on the planet gets fucking wiped out, you think we're just going to go on like normal, you idiots? What are your thoughts about the incident at Koyoani Studio building on the 18th of July? I'm all for it. Burn that shit down. Don't even bother putting fire escapes in your buildings, Japan. Keep it up. Aussie asks, Palestine or Israel? Mossad is watching, so be careful, bucko. Palestine. Why are you alive? You see, Mohammed, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, why are you white? You see, Blockton reported, when a white mommy and a white daddy love each other very much, someone somewhere asks, what's the one thing you regret most in your life? Not trying harder in school. Ali G asks for my opinion on Trump. I'm glad he won over Hillary, to be honest. So what do you think about people switching ideologies daily? Switch your ideology as much as you feel that you need to switch your ideology. You should never just be a part of an ideology that doesn't reflect your own worldview. Be a part of the ideology that reflects your own worldview. And if that worldview changes, switch ideologies. It's okay. You don't have to be tied down to a singular thing your whole life. It's okay to change. It's okay to be wrong. Heck, it's okay to be very wrong. It's better that you be very wrong than you be nothing at all. Hard shell or soft shell tacos? Hard, like the hard shell around myself. Bryolope asks, has your ironic caricature become your real life? Nope.
That one was a lie.
Roos Van Den Dole asks, my neighbor is a centrist. What should I do? I want you to kill him. Hey, what are your true thoughts on the Democratic primary? Who are your preferred candidates? I like Yang. He's as close to as an accelerationist as I'm gonna get. Construction Man asks, if I had a gun with 2 bullets and Hitler, Stalin, and a centrist were in front of me, who would I shoot? I would first I would shoot the centrist, and then I would shoot myself for having to live in a world with centrists in it. Are you going to be doing a Q&A of some kind? Yeah. Nazbol Commandant D20 asks, hey Jreg, what's the best way to kill yourself? Get a good office job. A comfortable kind of job that doesn't really satisfy you in any meaningful way. Then you don't get any hobbies. Instead of you come home and you play a video game or you watch Netflix for 6 to 8 hours. And then just repeat that process, and eventually your life will fly by so quick it's like you killed yourself. Try it. Trust me, it's great. Video Game Bomer asks, how's your week been? You know, this stuff's so new to me. All this stuff, I'm still adjusting. I think I need to figure out a way where I'm living a life that's not just me making videos and then going to the gym and that's my entire life. That's the only thing I do. Sometimes I go out and buy groceries. I need to have more people over and hang out with some friends more. Rasta Jeff asks, are you a gamer? Yep. Celeste Ivy asks, am I single and how do you deal with dating a centrist? I think that you should just tell the centrist that if he doesn't change his ways soon, he's gonna die. So he should probably jump over the fence before it catches on fire. Comrade Soros asks, how much of a raise do you want for 100K? I'm so happy with what I have right now that if I made the same amount of money, which is essentially enough to live, eat food, pay rent, and then have a little bit left over and also have some sponsorships here and there if I want extra money, I will be a happy boy. Scarlet Ingle asks, what's my zodiac sign? I am a Taurus. Taurus. I never got that into the whole horoscope stuff, but I'm a Taurus. What's it like knowing my mom really likes your videos? Oh, it's hell on earth. Tell your mom. Tell your mom. Hi. Anglosphere Nationalist asks, what's your favorite ice cream? Don't eat ice cream that much. Never actually had a cone of ice cream in my life.
Hey, Greg Guevara from the editing room here. Holy shit, this kind of content is really fucking bad, isn't it? I'm 42 minutes into this shit, and I don't know, man. I've been editing this video all day. It's just a lot of nothing happening. This is the kind of content I'm not going to be producing ever fucking again. Holy shit. Oh my god. Maybe I'll do a live stream or something, but this is hell. This is hell on earth. The gimmick wore off after the 15-minute mark. I'm surprised anyone's made it to this point. Okay, keep going.
Doom Guy asks, do you speak French like some Canucks? Bien sûr.
What is the point of this video?
Comrade Cora asks, why are you brown? Why are you white, Cora? That's not very communist of you. Manel KH asks, who drew the thumbnail? I will pull up the name of the guy who I stole it from. I always feel bad when I use someone's art in my videos and stuff, because I don't know where I get it from half the time, and I think that crediting people is very important. So if I ever use your meme or your art, just let me know, and I will put a credit link to you in the description. It's really the least I can do. Alright, so it was made by Discord user GisterMerv. That's GisterMerv number 2489. He did the thumbnail for my Draw My Life video. Honey Bay asks, what's your favorite piece of art that you've made? This one. Mr. Bones asks, Mitt Romney or Jeb Bush? Hard question, I know. It's definitely Jeb for me. I really like monarchies. That's my favorite form of governance. Favorite historical period? This one. Eel76 Mainstay asks, do you like Seattle? Yeah, man, I love Seattle. I've been there twice so far, and I hope to go again someday. Maybe I'll go touring there. Lana asks, what are some tips on hiding depression and thoughts of worthlessness behind satire, irony, and humor? Fuck, I keep losing this. Practice at it, dude. Try to distance yourself from your emotions a little bit with some irony here and there, and then see what works. When people actually miss your emotion based off like a satirical joke, then you know you're doing something right. Just keep doing it. Keep at it. Eventually, you'll be able to distance yourself so thoroughly from your emotions that you won't be able to ever get them back. So that's what you want. TuneLink asks, was the song really not about anything? So this song's not about anything, is simultaneously about nothing. It's about nothingness, and in the song itself is also about nothing. So it's like, it's not about anything. So what that means is it's simultaneously, it's like in a superposition between just literally being about nothing, just because I go boo doobity boopity boo, and then like I'm just gonna make sounds with my mouth now, ha ha ha. But then simultaneously, it's about that nothingness that is so prevalent in raps, where literally a whole song is written and it's just meaningless, pointless, like no message to it at all, no feeling, like it's not even really a feeling behind it. It's just kind of like, here's some sounds that I made with my mouth, and everyone's gonna bop out to it at a party. Maybe I'll throw in some lines you've heard 1,000 times before, and then go tonight, and that's it. That's the whole song. It's terrible. So that's what that song is about. It's about nothing. It's about nothing. But then also it's not about anything, because that's the joke. Samuel Bogman asks, how do you find your purpose in life when you've lost what you thought yours was supposed to be? The human mind is really, it's a plastic thing. It's capable of change. You can change your mind. You can change what's important to you. I know right now it seems that you were only destined for one thing. That only one thing could make you happy. But that's not true. You can be whoever you want to be. You can change who you are. It's possible. It's difficult, but it's possible, and it takes time. So it's going to hurt for a while, but that doesn't mean that you have to roll over and die and become bitter because you've lost it. A lot of what depression is you get focused on something. It can be a person, a significant other, but that thing becomes your dominant other. So it becomes what you live for. And when it goes away, you become an actor, and the only person that you were performing for is gone now. But you can always find a different audience. You don't have to be stuck with the audience that you thought that you needed for your entire life. The human brain's plastic, and you can change it. But I feel you, man. I feel you. I'm a political science major. Can you give any advice for people of this major or some book recommendations to me? I did not take political science, and I haven't read a book in 2 years. Manuel JPG asks, am I really a post-left new accelerationist with crypto-nihilist tendencies? Yes. Rafi Chowdhury asks, is there any sliver of chance you can start a segment where you give your actual opinions and analysis on current events? Nope. I am never going to do anything live, ever, and I'm never ever going to talk about a current event. Leela Burliant asks, are you really Jewish? Have you been to Israel? Yeah, I've been to Israel twice. And I went there on a free trip. It's pretty nice. Christian Boakhout asks, did you go to university anywhere? And what do you do outside of YouTube? Do some freelance writing work. Went to school at Carleton University. Awesome Austin 57 says, will you ever say your unironic political opinions? Yes, I have a date and a time basically planned out for when I'm going to reveal my actual political beliefs. It's going to be at the end of a series of some kind, like a large overarching continuity that I'm planning to use, which involves my characters that I've been building up. Yeah, I'm. There's only so long you can keep this charade up before it gets old. I have a date planned. I don't want to do this shtick for my entire life. So yeah, I know that there will be a time where I just reveal where I fall politically. William Lelovic asks, what kind of centrist do you hate the most? It's got to be the radical centrists. They're just too radical. What is the 100K subscriber special going to be about? For 100K, the centrist side will begin. Yusuf Rao asks, will you write a book about the philosophy of anarcho-national Bolshevism? No, but I will consider writing a book about anti-centrism as a whole. Maybe like a manifesto, an ebook form, maybe an actual book form. And I will probably talk about anarcho-national Bolshevism. Apple Pie Live asks, if you're an extremist of every kind, doesn't that make you an extreme centrist? No. So here's the thing. A radical centrist is technically capable of reaching across the political spectrum and picking whichever political leanings that he thinks is interesting at the time. But the radical centrist is also capable of using centrist tactics. That's the difference. So an anti-centrist says, I'm not going to use centrist tactics, and I'm going to blindly reject the status quo in favor of branching out to more extremes. Because if you're a radical centrist, technically you can use, authoritarian right or libertarian left policies to further what you think should be furthered. But what ends up happening with these radical centrist types is they actually just end up being centrists, which is, problem. It has all the problems associated with centrism. And then they're like, oh, well, I'm a radical centrist because I could use this libertarian right philosophy here, but no, they end up just being centrist. So that's the main issue with the radical center. Can you talk about mental health and your actual political beliefs? I already did that. Do the numbers in my Draw My Life video mean anything? No, they're just random numbers. Will you ever do an unironic political compass? Yeah, I think after I reveal my political leanings, I'll do a political compass after, just to confirm that I'm not being ironic. Cover Eye asks, who are the other people that have appeared in my videos? Just my friends. I just ask them to be in my videos. There's some people I love working with, collaborating with, artistically, and I get them in my videos sometimes. Beck Jam asks, what are your plans for the future and YouTube life-wise? It's actually right here. Okay, so in this book, I've realized recently that all of the amazing dreams that I've been having, like the dreams that I've had my entire life that I thought I would never be able to achieve, I now actually have the opportunity to achieve. So I want to write a novel, a couple novels actually, and these are going to be like your run of the mill. Okay, so here's the thing. So I have this novel called Excavia. I would really like to get published. Now, Excavia, the way that it's written is sort of like poetry in snippets. It's not a traditional novel, but it would be like novel length size, and it would be like written in poems and like short snippets of text. It would be like a post-apocalyptic fantasy kind of thing. I also want to write a choose your own adventure novel. I've been working on a choose your own adventure book for like 4 years now, and it's going to be like 1,000 pages long. There's going to be all these different like places you can explore. That you can like go to Ancapistan essentially, and you can like go to a bunch of different like areas, and you can make a bunch of interesting decisions that'll affect how your story turns out. And I want it to be such a huge game, and it deals with stuff like the fourth dimension, right? Because you can travel through time, but then also the fifth dimension, because you can travel through alternate timelines. Because as you create choices, you create the alternate timelines, and then you can go in between the alternate timelines. It's a very high concept game. And then yeah. What else? I want to do. So there's this company called Choice of Games that I would like to. I've been working on a thing called Week for them. And it's like you have to survive a week. Basically, like a darkness surrounds your house, and you're like stuck in your house. And every night there's a knock on the door, and like you have to decide who you let in, and who's actually a creature from the shadows, and who's just a normal person. So that's that. I'd also love to go on tour eventually. I think I'm going to wait until I have like 1 million subscribers. If I ever make it there, obviously I might never make it there. But you know, in a couple of years, if I manage to get like 500,000, maybe even 1 million subs, I want to go on tour because I really want to meet people. I would love to meet you. I would fucking love to meet all of you. So yeah, hopefully I will eventually get to travel and see people. Because right now I'm just stuck in Canada in my apartment, and I love it, but also at the same time I'm pretty lonely, so it would be good to meet some people. And then also I want to design some games. I have plenty of board games that I would like to create, and yeah, I just like to do some videos on that level of concept. I want to do some board games essentially. Like I've been working on plenty of board game ideas since I was a kid. Maybe I think what I'll do is, so yeah, I have a lot of dreams. I have a lot of dreams that I never thought I would have the opportunity to follow, but now I have the opportunity to follow them. So thank you for letting me be a young creative, TM. Quat asks, why did you kill Gianni Versace? He looked at me the wrong way. And asks, any advice for young people? Yeah, I've got advice for young people. So, Gen Z, let's talk. I am on the precipice between Gen Z and Millennial, but I identify with the Gen Zs much more than the Millennials. I grew up with a screen in front of my face, and if you're watching this, and if you're younger than me, then you probably did as well. Now, the screen is what's brought me all the joy in my life, but it's also caused me a lot of problems. So, I would say, if you're young, develop a good relationship with your screen. Now, what I mean by that is this thing will kill you if you let it kill you. This thing will destroy your fucking life. I'm not joking. Social media will fuck you up. No one will ever tell you that because your parents didn't grow up with a screen in front of their face. I did, so I can tell you this from a place of deep empathy that you need to develop a healthy relationship with the internet. Because, and this is true, if you don't, it can fuck you up. You can spend days just wasting your life, wasting your potential playing video games. And that's really sad because as a young person, you were so full of life and potential and energy, and you can do so much shit, but it's so easy to waste it all away just staring at a screen doing nothing. Now, if you are happy staring at a screen doing nothing, I don't have beef with you. But if you feel like you're wasting your potential, if you're wasting your energy, if you're wasting your life staring at a screen and wasting your time playing a video game you don't even really like anymore, then what the fuck are you doing, man? That I actually know what you're doing. You're getting addicted to this thing. It's so easy to get your brain's dopamine receptors hijacked by social media, playing dumb little mobile games or going on Facebook or Instagram and checking what everybody else is doing and how good everybody else's life is. And your parents should be telling you, hey man, listen, look, it's okay. Just develop the ability to distance yourself from what you see on your screen. But your parents didn't grow up with screens, man, so you have been fucked. You've been fucked because you don't have any good authority figures who know what you're dealing with when you're addicted to technology. Tech screens, whatever. I know I'm sounding like an N-prim here. It's so easy to escape from reality into a virtual world. And I think that's why a lot of us extremists have anime profile pictures. It's because anime is a good escape, man. Like, you don't want to live in this shitty existence, so you fire up some anime and you're in some other existence. And it's like fun, it's good, but the problem is you shut your computer down after 2 hours and you're in the same place, but just 2 hours have progressed and nothing's changed. That being said, not everybody has that problem. Some people don't have an addictive personality. Some people aren't addicted to anything on their internet and they use it as much as they need to and they're done with it. I would say though, for a lot of us who grew up with a screen in front of our faces, we've been fucked. And the first step is acknowledging that you've been fucked. And the second step is being like, okay, well, what am I going to do about it now? For me, I have a application on my computer that blocks distracting websites, like YouTube, Facebook, Reddit, 4chan, etc., Tumblr, blah blah blah, and it blocks me on a schedule. So like after midnight, say, then I won't be spending all my time watching YouTube videos after midnight. So that's what I do, and then I have also other things that I do. I'm not perfect, obviously. I'm not an example to follow, but I am in the same boat as you. So that's my advice for Gen Z. Like, don't let your screen fuck you up, man, because it can fuck you up. Are Nazbols centrists? No, Nazbols aren't centrists. How? Okay, let me draw a graph for you. Here's two dominoes. Okay, so imagine this is left-wing politics. This is moderate left, and this is far left. And this is right-wing politics. This is moderate right, and this is far right. So a centrist is essentially saying, take the moderate ends of both sides, and cut out the far ends. So a centrist is saying half of A and half of B, but the moderate parts of A and B. Now an anti-centrist or a National Bolshevik person is saying, take the far ends of the right and the far ends of the left and cut out the middle. So a Nazbol was saying ethno-state, which is a far right idea, and seize the means of production, which is a far left idea. Now anti-centrism is essentially the same kind of deal, like except a little more broader than that. No center, and it works both from the authoritarian anarchist spectrum to the economic and cultural left and economic cultural right spectrum. No center, just these fringes, the very farmost fringes. I don't know if this metaphor is making any sense anymore. Of both sides, just the fringe. That's the difference between. That's why centrism is the literal, exact, logical opposite of centrism. Jamanda Bop 456 with sprinkles on top says, if you get 1 million subs, will you screenshot this comment and put it in that video? Yeah, I will do that. I'll screenshot it now. Jose Ignacio Montez asks, how do you know if I'm saying something for real or if it's just irony? You know, I think you shouldn't focus so much on what I'm saying and focus more on how I'm saying it. And then you can kind of distill a truth based off of that, like whatever I'm getting at based off of the way that I'm saying it. Because it really is more about the delivery than the words themselves, I'd say. And if that still doesn't make any sense to you, don't worry about it. I'm a comedy channel. I make haha shitpost politics stuff, so don't worry about it too much. Though there is a truth to what I'm saying. There's a coherent philosophy underpinning everything I say and do.
I don't know how to end this video. I didn't write anything in the script.
I also want to take this opportunity to make an announcement. I am starting a series. It's going to be using all of the characters that have been in my videos for the last 4 months or so, and it's going to be using them to tell a larger story. So the series, it's going to be called Anti-Centrism Season 2 or just Centricide, and it'll be like a varied story. There'll be a bunch of subplots with all these characters, and not to brag, but it's basically my most ambitious project that I've ever worked on so far. It's the culmination of literally months of writing and researching politics and getting into the political sphere and learning about all this stuff. And at the end of it, I will tell you my real political views. No bullshit. I will just tell it to you flat out what I think. And yeah, I don't know how long it'll take me to tell this story, but I'm going to take my time on it. I'm going to take as long as I need to tell it. And it's going to be a musical. There's going to be musical numbers, and there's going to be like fight scenes and shit. It's going to be wild. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to do my best to make it look nice, look good, look as good as possible. There's literally going to be a scene where apolitical beats the fuck out of the ANCOM, and then the apolitical gets chased away, and the ANCOM survives, but he's been hit by apoliticism, and he becomes a post-leftist. Like, it's gonna be a good series. I promise you, I'm going to tell a good story over a moderate period of time, but not like a huge period of time, and I'm actually gonna finish it. Unlike 80% of the other series online that like the creator starts and gets bored of. I have the whole thing written out already. I can probably finish the whole thing in as quick as 2 months. It's a story I'm really excited to tell. It's a story that I don't think could be told in any other format or with any other context, and it's all because of you. It's all because of you, baby. And yeah, we'll see what I can do. I'm excited for it. I think that the script's really fun. It's like a really interesting idea. I don't think it's a story that's ever been told before. I'm gonna build up like lore around the characters and shit. I think you'll find it really great, and I think it's a really good progression of the channel away from just what my normal shtick is, and now into more of an overarching continuity with a beginning, middle, and an end. And I think I'm really excited to tell the story. So yeah, look forward for that. I'm still going to be doing my other stuff, of course, but that's just going to be another addition to the stuff that I'm already putting out. So you're not losing anything here. I'll still do funny one-off skits here and again. But yeah.